Angels is out of Florida. They're all German Shepherds, and they're for any medical service need, except for they don't have the seeing eye dogs. But any other medical thing they have, they pair you up with them. It's a great organization, and I just can't thank Guardian Angel and Armstrong for making this happen. It's been a long time. My condition is PTSD, what the dog is trained for. He alerts me if I'm having a nightmare or a flashback or depressed. A lot of Vietnam vets killed herself because of the depression. And that was Armstrong's mission, because there's 22 service guys killed themselves every day. Armstrong had put a mission that they wanted to take care of that problem. The lady there that had, she was diabetic. One night her sugar went low. The dog took her a candy bar, woke her up to alert her. Then there was another guy, he had seizures. So this dog was trained to alert him that he was going to have a seizure, make sure that he's down where he doesn't hurt himself. It's just, the dogs are amazing. That's what they're trained to do from the time they're a pup. They'll come up and lick you, make you pet his head, and that way when you're petting him, you actually calm down. Same at night. He senses when I'm going to have a nightmare or a flashback. He alerts me before he left. And it's not just me. He alerted my wife one morning. She was having a nightmare, and the dog sensed it and went and woke her up. Same way he wakes me up. I mean, they said it's the body chemistry. Your body puts off the dog training.
Carson is named after a little boy named Carson Higgins. And Carson Higgins had cancer at 2 years old, spent 3 years in St. Jude, was in remission, and passed away when he was 12 years old about 2 years ago. A terrible story. John Higgins and Debbie Higgins, his parents, they have 4 other boys, and they are actually in the cable business also. So what we thought we would do is name Carson, the dog, after Carson Higgins. For the past 2 years, probably 16 months, the Carson family has been getting updates of Carson the dog from the time he was a little pup till just recently, where he was paired with Leon. So I will tell you that not only is this dog helping Leon, it's a tremendous help to the Higgins family, that they can continue to move on with their lives, knowing that their son Carson is still doing some amazing things.
Do the flying prime rib and the McHonker in an extremely amateur way. So we got 2 goose breasts here, clean, washed, rinsed. And then we're going to put them in a marinade. This is real easy to do. Start with a cup of olive oil. I'll just put in there. That's a tablespoon of coarse salt. With a tablespoon of ground pepper. And 2 minced up garlic cloves. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And of course, Worcestershire, that's Indian for good on me. And that's all that's in that. So we're going to whisk it up. Throw it in the bag. You mix it up. It says for at least 2 hours, but I like it overnight. So you throw it in the fridge. And in this case, we're going to throw it in our cooler. Now this one's the flying prime rib. It really does taste like flying prime rib. It doesn't taste like goose at all. I also stole the McHonker off of Ducks Unlimited, but it's just a Facebook thing. And the McHonker is basically a goose sausage sandwich. And I do it a little differently, because if you do the eggs over easy and they're all dripping, It's one, hard to hang on to, and it's no good for the beard. It's all bad for the rest of the day. So we're gonna fry the egg and stick it on top there. This is 2 full breasts, and it's gonna make about 8 sandwiches. So in toying with this at home to make sure it wasn't a terrible disaster in front of you guys, I found 1 breast will make 4 sandwiches. So you can use that as a guide. It's also an excuse to play with your wife's, what's he gonna say next? Kitchen equipment. She has this nice KitchenAid mixer, and if you head in, it actually has a grinding attachment that'll grind meat and stuff like that on it. So, which is nice as long as you're not making a whole bunch of it. And our pork, and that's about a pound of pork there, give or take. A half a teaspoon of cracked black pepper, a teaspoon of brown sugar, and a tablespoon of kosher salt. I dial back the kosher salt because it can get pretty salty otherwise. And that's also a dash of Worcestershire sauce. So put a healthy couple of dashes in there because I'm pretty sure we've expanded the recipe greatly. And Tabasco. And it's best to mix it by hand. Now what I didn't just do that I probably should have done was even out a little bit of the chunks of brown sugar. It's going to be real hard finding those in here. So, the nice thing about grinding the geese is that if you've ever shot a goose and then cleaned it, sometimes you miss the head and there's some shot in the breast. So you cut it up in little bits to put it through the grinder, and you kind of go down that wound channel there with a knife, and it makes it a little easier to find the shot. But you could grill all of this too on a grill if you were camping or at deer camp or duck camp or something like that. Now we'll let those cook for a little bit. And really, it's just a matter of assembling the sandwich. If you were at home, you'd pop your English muffins into the toaster, do those just like you would. When we flip these, we're going to add cheese on top. And in a minute we're going to start frying the eggs up, and they don't take too long to fry. But you can do those, like I said, over easy, fry them however you want to do them, and then we just sort of build the whole sandwich. The other part of the flying prime rib, since it's prime rib of course, would be a horseradish sauce. You can just go with straight horseradish, but this sucker is pretty easy to make. You take half a cup of sour cream, you take
Hey, mister, how are you?
half a cup of mayo, and it's a tablespoon of horseradish off the side you didn't use for the Worcestershire. Whisk this with what is arguably the world's worst whisk, and you're done. So slice it thin, because that makes it even more tender. And the other reason to slice it thin is you got a better shot at finding the shot before your teeth did. And we'll go back to paying attention to this action. And you can use any old kind of cheese, you know, pepper jack or whatever. Whatever works, whatever you like. There's no, really no wrong way to do it. And then it's that easy. They throw that on a plate. Be done, be done. Yep. You went through a lot if it wasn't done, man. That is a McHonker.